Let me tell you something that most people are too afraid to say. The reason why you keep getting hurt, disappointed, and exhausted in life is because you've made it your full-time job to be too good for people who are only part-time in your life. You're pouring your energy, your love, your time into people who wouldn't even bother to show up for you when you need them the most. And you know what the worst part is? It's not their fault. It's yours. Because you've trained them to treat you this way by never choosing yourself first. Let that sink in. You are the reason you feel last in every relationship. Stop overgiving to the wrong people. Yes, you heard that right. Because the truth is, no matter how good your heart is, no matter how pure your intentions are, if you keep pouring all your time, energy, love, kindness, care, and attention into people who don't value you, you will wake up one day completely empty, wondering why no one is pouring anything back into you. Have you ever seen a plant that you water every day, speak lovingly to, nourish with care, and give the best sunlight, and yet it never grows, never blooms, and never shows any sign of life? Eventually you realize maybe it's not the watering that's the problem. Maybe it's the soil. Maybe it's the wrong environment for your love to take root. People are exactly the same. If you keep giving your best to people who are not ready to receive it, who don't want to grow with you, who are emotionally unavailable, selfish, or broken beyond your ability to fix them, then all your giving is wasted effort. And the worst part is, you suffer twice. Once because they didn't appreciate it, and again because you lose your own sense of worth in the process. You can't keep giving chances to people who've shown you time and time again that they can't respect your value. This applies to friends who only call when they need a favor, to that partner who only texts when they want something, to family members who take your kindness for weakness. How many times will you keep stretching your boundaries just to make them feel comfortable while you feel uncomfortable? How many times will you sacrifice your peace just to keep the chaos of others alive? Imagine this. You're holding a golden jug full of water, pure, clean, life-giving water, and you walk around pouring this water into every cup you see. Cups that are cracked, cups that are upside down, cups that are dirty, cups that don't even belong to you. And at the end of the day, you look into your jug and it's empty. You have nothing left for yourself. Nothing for the one who could have truly appreciated it. Why? Because you wasted all your water on people who couldn't hold it, didn't care for it, and didn't need it. That's your energy, your attention, your time, your love. You cannot save people who don't want to be saved. You cannot heal people who benefit from staying broken. You cannot make someone see your worth when they're committed to misunderstanding you. And every time you try, you drain yourself a little more. Let's get real. You've probably stayed up late comforting people who would never pick up the phone if you were crying at 2 a.m. You've driven miles to help someone who wouldn't cross the street for you. You've lent money, given favors, sacrificed your plans just to be the good one. And what did it get you? A thankless heartache, a silent phone, a mind full of regrets. You are not responsible for carrying the emotional weight of people who refuse to carry their own. You are not created to bleed yourself dry trying to fill the emptiness of others who make no effort to fill their own cup. You are not a charity for energy vampires. You are not a doormat for the selfish. Think about the sun. It shines brightly every day. not to be appreciated, not to be applauded, but because it simply is the sun. Some people go out and enjoy it. Some people stay in the shade and curse it. The sun doesn't care. It shines anyway. But what the sun never does, it never chases anyone. It never dims itself to make someone comfortable. It never begs to be noticed. Learn from the sun. Overgiving is not love. It's self-abandonment. When you give to those who take, and take but never give back, you are abandoning yourself. You're telling yourself that your needs don't matter, that your peace can be sacrificed, that your happiness comes second. And the people you overgive to, they learn that they can keep demanding because you keep supplying. Stop being the person who shows up for everyone else while no one shows up for you. Stop answering calls that drain your soul. Stop agreeing to favors that cost you your sanity. Stop entertaining people who see your kindness as a weakness. Your time is gold. Your energy is limited. Your love is rare. Treat it like the treasure it is. Do you know why some people keep treating you badly? Because you let them. You keep giving them access to your heart, your mind, your space, your life, when they've proven they don't deserve it. They know you'll always answer, always be there, always forgive, always give one more chance. And that's why they never change. Because you've made it too easy to misuse you. Let me tell you this. The more you overgive to the wrong people, the more you block the right ones from entering your life. The ones who would match your effort, who would love you with intention, who would value you without having to be begged. But they can't find you because you're too busy rescuing the ungrateful. Your heart is not a garbage bin for other people's emotional junk. Your soul is not a playground for their boredom. Your life is not a shelter for their storms. You deserve friends who pour into you. You deserve a partner who invests in you. You deserve people who see you, the real you, not just what you can do for them. Every time you overgive to the wrong person, you betray the most important person in your life. You, the person who needs your energy the most, the one who deserves your patience, your kindness, your care, is you. When you start giving that to yourself first, the world changes, the people around you change. Because now you're teaching them that your value is not negotiable. Your time is not free. Your love is not selfish. It's survival. And until you truly understand this, life will keep breaking you, draining you, and leaving you wondering why you feel so empty even when you're surrounded by people. You have been taught that loving yourself first is wrong, that it's arrogant, that it's selfish, that it's pride. But let me tell you the truth they never taught you. Self-love is not selfish. It is oxygen for your soul. Without it, you choke on the expectations, the demands, the judgments of others. You cannot pour love into anyone when you are running on empty yourself. Look at your phone battery. What happens when you keep running your apps, keep calling people, keep using energy without ever plugging into a charger? The phone dies. No matter how expensive the phone is. No matter how many features it has. Without the charge, it is useless. That's your soul. You keep giving. You keep answering every call. You keep showing up when you're tired. You keep saving people who won't save themselves. And one day, you wake up, drained, disconnected, numb. That is why self-love is survival. It's plugging yourself in before you power anyone else. It's putting on your oxygen mask first on the crashing plane of life before you try to save the one sitting next to you. You can't breathe life into anyone else if you can't breathe yourself. But the world will make you feel guilty for this. They'll say you're selfish. They'll whisper that you've changed, that you've become distant, cold, arrogant. But no, you've simply become aware. Aware that people love the version of you that forgets yourself. They adore the one who says yes when she means no. They celebrate the you who sacrifices your peace for their comfort. But they don't clap for the you who sets boundaries. Who says, I can't today, I need to rest. Who says, no, I deserve more than this. Who says, my joy matters too. Imagine this. A candle burning brightly in a dark room. Everyone comes to it for light. They warm their hands by its fire. They read by its glow. But the candle keeps burning down, melting, breaking apart, until there's nothing left but smoke and wax. It gave light to everyone, but destroyed itself in the process. Don't be that candle. Self-love is refusing to burn out for people who never bring matches of their own. It's standing tall and saying, I matter. My health, my mind, my heart, my dreams, they matter too. Because when you are full, you overflow. When you are whole, you heal others without even trying. But when you are broken, you bleed on people who never cut you. And that's why you call us good people to good people, to good people. Takapi tukap. Have you ever seen a mother so tired, so exhausted from taking care of everyone that she forgets herself? She feeds the family, washes their clothes, runs after the kids, does the shopping, listens to their problems, and at the end of the day, when she looks in the mirror, she can't even recognize the woman staring back. Her joy is gone, her laughter is gone, her light flickering. All because she was told that loving herself was selfish, that asking for rest was wrong, that putting herself first was sin. But a broken mother can't raise whole children. A tired soul can't build strong relationships. Self-love is survival. It's waking up in the morning and giving yourself 10 minutes to breathe before the world demands your attention. It's looking in the mirror and saying, I deserve kindness today, from myself most of all. It's leaving that toxic friendship because you realize it costs your peace. It's refusing to answer that late night call from someone who only remembers you when they need something. It's saying no to the gathering when your body says rest. It's choosing silence over arguments, peace over proving your point, solitude over fake company. And watch this. When you begin to choose yourself, everything shifts. You attract better people. People who respect your boundaries. People who value your time. People who pour into you because they see you pouring into yourself. You stop settling for crumbs because you've learned to bake your own bread. You stop chasing love because you've become love for yourself. Self-love is survival because the world will drain you. People will take what they can if you let them. They don't mean to, but they will, unless you stop. Unless you fill your own cup first. I once knew a woman, smart, beautiful, talented, but she spent years trying to make others happy. She bent backwards to keep her man, her friends, her family pleased. But inside, she was breaking. She cried in secret. She questioned her worth. She thought something was wrong with her. Because no matter how much she gave, it was never enough until the day she stopped. She walked away. She took a break. She traveled. She read books. She sat alone in coffee shops. She learned to enjoy her own company. And guess what happened? They started calling her chasing her, wondering why she wasn't available anymore. But she smiled, because now she was available to herself. And her glow, it returned. Her peace, unshakable. Her joy, real. That is the power of self-love. When you learn to stand alone, you attract those who want to stand with you, not on you. When you fill your own cup, the right people come to drink, not to drain. When you protect your energy, you protect your destiny. Respect is earned, not handed out freely. And the sooner you understand this, the stronger, wiser, and more unstoppable you will become. In this world where people expect everything without giving anything. You see, this life will teach you that if you make yourself too easy to reach, too available, too accessible, without making people earn your presence, they will stop valuing it. It's human nature. What comes too easily is rarely appreciated. What requires effort, patience, and consistency is what people treasure. That is why diamonds are rare and gravel is everywhere. Which one do you want to be? Think about your own life. How many times have you given your attention, your time, your care, your loyalty to people who didn't even deserve it? You kept texting first. You kept checking on them. You kept forgiving. You kept explaining yourself. You kept proving your worth as if you were on trial every day. And what did it get you? Were you appreciated more? Were you valued deeply? No. You became familiar. You became normal. You became expected. Like air, like gravity, like background noise. The truth is, when you treat your own value like it's cheap, the world will believe you. If you let people into your sacred space too quickly, they will never understand the price you've paid to build that space. Look at the velvet rope in front of VIP sections at the finest clubs. Not everyone gets in. Not everyone gets access. There's a selection, there's security, there's a standard. And because of that, people line up, they wait, they try harder. Because what is rare makes people rise to the occasion. But when you remove the rope and let anyone walk in, guess what happens? Chaos, noise, disrespect, trash left behind. The same goes for your life. Respect must be earned. It's not handed out like free samples. You don't owe anyone access to your mind, your heart, your body, your energy just because they asked. Guess what happens? They have to show up. Be consistent, be kind, be real. They have to deserve your time the way you deserve to protect it. Imagine a teacher who lets students speak, interrupt, and talk over her every minute of class. What happens? The students stop respecting her authority. They treat her like a peer, not a guide. But imagine a teacher who sets clear rules. In this room, we listen. We wait for our turn. We raise our hands. Slowly, the students learn. They sit taller. They focus. They respect. Why? Because boundaries create respect. Standards create worth. Effort creates value. I once knew a woman who used to pick up every call, reply to every text instantly. Even when it was from people who disrespected her. Friends who only called when they needed money. A man who only remembered her when they needed favors. And you know what she said to me? She said, I feel exhausted, like everyone needs me but no one values me. And I told her, of course you feel that way. Because you taught them to expect you for free. You trained them that you cost nothing to reach. No wonder they don't treasure you. So one day she stopped. She waited before replying. She said, no, more often. She didn't pick up every call. And guess what happened? The wrong people got angry and disappeared. But the right ones, they started calling with care, texting with respect, visiting with purpose. Because when you raise your value, the cheap ones leave and the priceless ones show up. Respect isn't loud. It's not demanded. It's silently expected. It's in the way you carry yourself when you walk into a room. It's in the way you look someone in the eye, knowing you don't need to beg for their attention. It's in the way you say no without guilt. No, I can't make it. No, I won't tolerate this. No, I'm not available. When you live like this, people sense it. They feel it, they adjust themselves, or they walk away. And either way, you win. Let's talk about relationships. When you overgive without standards, you create a relationship where you're always chasing, always proving, always explaining. But when you hold your ground, when you don't bend easily, when you make your worth visible, they chase you. They rise to meet your standards. They put in the effort. Not because you demanded it, but because your energy demanded it without a word. This is why some women seem to have men wrapped around their fingers. Not because they beg, but because they value themselves so deeply that men know she cannot be fooled, she cannot be used, she cannot be played. Even in friendship, the rule is the same. The friend who always says yes becomes the friend everyone takes for granted. But the friend who respects their time, who says, I'm busy today, maybe next week, becomes the friend others admire, respect, and wait for. Why? Because mystery creates value. Because availability creates demand. Because boundaries create respect. Have you ever seen a rare vintage car at an auto show? It stands on a platform. A rope separates it from the crowd. No one is allowed to touch it. They can only admire from a distance. And because they can't touch it, because it's rare, because it's protected, they respect it, they photograph it, they talk about it. But the old broken car sitting in the street, unlocked, dirty, abandoned, no one notices it. No one values what is common. No one treasures what is free. The same goes for your heart, your time, your presence. When you protect these things, when you make people earn the right to enter your life, they will either rise to meet you or they will fall away, revealing that they were never meant to stay. You teach people how to treat you by what you tolerate. You tell them what you're worth by what you accept. Every yes when you mean no tells them you don't respect yourself enough to have limits. Every time you lower your standards just to keep someone in your life, you're sending a silent message. I'm not worth the effort. But when you set the bar high and keep it high, you attract those willing to jump. Those who refuse to make the leap were never strong enough for your journey anyway. Even in business, this truth holds. The products that are discounted every week, the services that come too cheap, people doubt their value. But luxury brands, no discounts, no sales, no please buy me promotions, they stand firm. And people save for months, wait for releases, line up for hours. Because value is built by belief. And belief is built by boundaries. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out. They are bridges that teach others how to reach you with respect, care, and honesty. They are not a sign of arrogance or selfishness. They are the purest form of self-respect. When you build boundaries, you send a clear and powerful message to the world. This is who I am. This is what I allow. This is what I will never tolerate. Without boundaries, you are like an open field. where anyone can walk, stomp, litter, and leave without consequence. But with boundaries, you become a sacred space, protected, valuable, honored. Think about your own life for a moment. How many times have you let people speak to you in ways that made you uncomfortable because you didn't want to seem rude? How many times did you accept disrespect, manipulation, or carelessness because you were afraid to say stop? This is not okay. Every time you ignored that inner voice telling you to set a line, you taught them that it was acceptable. You taught them that you could be crossed. You taught them that they could treat you less than you deserve. Not because they were strong, but because you refused to stand strong. Imagine you own a beautiful home. You've spent years making it perfect. The walls painted with love. The garden blooming with care. The furniture reflecting your taste and effort. Now picture this. What if you left the door wide open all day and night? Strangers would wander in, thieves would grab what they could, the rain would soak your floors, the wind would scatter your things. Soon your home, your sanctuary, would be a mess. Not because the world is cruel, but because you didn't lock the door. Boundaries are the locked doors of your soul. They protect the beauty inside you. They tell the world, you are welcome here, but only if you knock. Only if you come with respect. I once knew a woman who never said no to her friends, to her boss, to her family. She was always available, always saying yes, even when it hurt her. People called her kind, generous, selfless. But behind their praise, they took advantage. They dumped their problems on her. They asked for favors without thanks. They disrespected her time, her feelings, her worth. And every night she cried, not because they hurt her, but because she let them. One day, after years of exhaustion, she made a choice. She built boundaries. She told her friend, I can't listen to you complain every night anymore. She told her boss, I won't work unpaid hours again. She told her family, I need space for myself. And something amazing happened. The people who truly cared respected her more. The people who only used her left. She lost fake friends, but she gained real peace. Boundaries are not punishments. They are invitations. They invite the right people to stay and push the wrong people away. They filter your life from those who drain your spirit and make room for those who fill your soul. When you set boundaries, you force others to decide. Will they rise to respect you? Or will they fall away because they cannot? It's no different than raising the price of a rare painting. The higher the price, the more serious the buyer. The higher your standards, the more serious the people who stay in your life. Those who truly value you will not complain about your boundaries. They will honor them, adjust for them, and respect you more for them. Those who get angry, disappear or mock you when you set boundaries, they were never there for you. They were there for what they could take from you. Look at the sun. It shines for everyone. But you can't stare at it directly without hurting your eyes. Why? Because even the sun sets boundaries. It says, admire me, enjoy me, but don't cross the line, or you will be burned. That's power. That's grace. That's what you must become. Even in love, boundaries matter more than anything. A relationship without boundaries becomes a prison. One partner controls, the other obeys. One partner takes, the other gives endlessly. But a relationship with boundaries is freedom. Both partners give and receive. Both speak and listen. Both know, I can go this far, but no further. And because of that mutual respect, love grows deeper, safer, stronger, like a garden protected by a fence. It flourishes because it is guarded. Children too need boundaries. A child without rules becomes wild, lost, unsure. But a child with loving, clear boundaries feels safe, cared for, guided. Boundaries say, I love you enough to teach you how to behave here. I care enough to protect you from harm, even from yourself. The same is true for your inner child, the part of you that still needs care, still needs safety. Boundaries are how you care for yourself when no one else will. There is no greatness without boundaries. Every successful person, every leader, every legend you admire, they all have lines they refuse to let others cross. Oprah has boundaries. Priyanka Chopra has boundaries. Michelle Obama has boundaries. Not because they are rude, but because they know their value. Because they refuse to live a life where anyone can walk in, take what they want, and leave them empty. When you start setting boundaries, people will react. Some will test you. Some will guilt you. Some will leave. Let them. Your peace is worth more than temporary company. Your joy is worth more than fake friendships. Your soul is worth more than cheap attention. Boundaries do not keep love out. They keep fear, disrespect, and destruction out. They build walls only against harm and open doors wide for truth, trust, and joy. Boundaries teach others how to treat you, not with words, but with action. When you say no to what drains you, you say yes to what fills you. When you say stop to disrespect, you say welcome to honor. When you stand firm, the world stands back and watches in awe. The right people will never be intimidated by your standards. In fact, they will be drawn to them like iron to a magnet. Because real ones, those who carry truth in their hearts and value in their souls, understand that standards are not walls built out of pride, but bridges made of self-respect. When you raise your standards, when you stand tall in what you demand from life, relationships, and love, you do not scare the right people away. You invite them closer because they see your worth and they want to rise to meet it. Think about a luxury store that sells diamonds. There is no flashing neon sign begging for customers. There is no sale banner hanging from the door. There is no frantic buy one, get one free offer. And yet people line up. Why? Because they know that what is inside is rare, precious, and worth every cost. The price does not scare the serious buyer. It proves the value. But the window shoppers, the ones looking for cheap deals, they pass by without stepping in. Your standards work the same way. Those who are serious about you, who see your light and worth, will never run from the price of patience, respect, kindness, and loyalty that you demand. They will pay it gladly because to them, you are worth it. I knew a woman once who raised her standards after years of being used. She told herself, no more begging for attention. No more late night texts from men who don't see my soul. No more friends who only come around when they need something. At first, the world shook. People left. Some mocked her. Some called her too much, too difficult, too high maintenance. But slowly, the ones who stayed treated her differently. The man who saw her worth came and said, I see you, I choose you, I respect your time, your boundaries, your dreams. Friends who cared began to show up without being asked, because the right ones are never afraid of standards. They see them as the gateway to a rare soul. Have you ever seen an athlete preparing for the Olympics? Their coach pushes them, demands perfection, higher jumps. faster time. A weak-willed athlete would quit, intimidated by the high standard. But the champion, they rise to it. Because they know that greatness demands greatness. The right people in your life will feel the same. They will not shrink at your strength. They will be inspired by it. This is why when you demand honesty, the liars will flee, but the truthful will draw closer. When you demand loyalty, the disloyal will disappear, but the faithful will fight to stay. When you demand effort, the lazy will complain, but the passionate will love the challenge. Your standards are not what drive people away. They are what reveal who was never meant to stay. I knew a man who kept lowering his standards just to be loved. He dated people who cheated, lied, disrespected him, just to avoid being alone. He accepted crumbs when he deserved the whole meal. But every time, he ended up broken, wondering why no one valued him. The truth was simple. How could they value him when he set his own price so low? One day, he stopped. He raised the bar. He demanded truth, kindness, respect. The wrong women vanished. But then she came. The one who saw his strength, his vision, his depth. She loved him not because he was easy to get, but because he stood firm. Standards did not scare her. They told her he was serious, rare, worthy. Even in business, this is true. The brands that chased every customer by dropping their prices, by dropping their demand, by begging for attention, they lose their power. But the brands that set high standards, that refuse to cheapen themselves, that demand excellence, they attract loyalty. Apple does not discount its newest phone to please everyone. It says, this is the price, this is the quality, this is the standard. And millions buy it anyway. Not because it's cheap, but because it's worth it. Your life is your brand. Your heart is your treasure. Your soul is your diamond. Set your price, set your standard. Watch who steps up to meet it and who walks away. The right ones will not fear your demands. They will be thankful for them because they want someone who knows their worth, because they are tired of people who settle for less, because they too have been waiting for someone like you who refuses to be ordinary. The wrong people will always call you too much when you demand respect because they were never prepared to give it. The wrong people will call you selfish when you put your needs first because they only wanted you to serve theirs. The wrong people will call you difficult when you speak your truth because they preferred your silence. Let them go. Their fear is not your problem. Their weakness is not your burden. Their running is not your loss. But the right ones, they will smile when you speak your boundaries. They will lean in when you speak your truth. They will reach higher when you set the bar. Because the right people know that love without standards is not love at all. Respect without limits is not respect at all. Connection without effort is not connection at all. Look at the eagle. It soars high, far above the noise, above the ordinary. The crows stay low, cackling, fighting, scavenging. The eagle sets a standard. If you want me, rise. I will not come down to the dirt for you. And no eagle ever apologizes for flying too high. You are not here to shrink, to soften, to bend until you break. You are here to stand, to rise, to demand a life that matches your value. The right people will see that and say, finally, someone who knows, someone who sees, someone who refuses to be less. They will not run. They will stay, fight, build, love, rise. Because your standards did not scare them. They awaken them. When you finally choose yourself, the entire universe shifts its gaze upon you. The energy you once poured recklessly into people who never deserved you returns tenfold, fueling your soul, lighting up your spirit, making you unstoppable. You no longer walk into rooms wondering if you are enough. You walk in knowing you are more than enough. Because you have understood a rare truth. Being too good for everyone is not a flaw. It is your superpower. But now, you no longer waste that power on the unworthy. You're not here to be everyone's comfort zone, everyone's convenience, everyone's backup plan. You are here to be extraordinary. You're here to stand tall, to stand firm, to stand proud, even if it means standing alone. Because when you stand for yourself, you'll find the world bending to meet your worth, not the other way around. The greatest shift in your life begins the moment you stop apologizing for your standards, your boundaries, your self-love. When you declare to the world, I choose me, you give permission to others to do the same. And let me remind you, history was never made by people who begged for acceptance. Legends were never born out of pleasing everyone. It was the ones who dared to be different, who dared to demand more, who dared to walk away from the ordinary, who changed the world. Think about it. Steve Jobs once said, don't let the noise of others' opinions drown out your inner voice. Oprah Winfrey said, you become what you believe. These giants of life didn't get there by lowering their standards for people who couldn't see their vision. They stayed true. They chose themselves. And the world had no choice but to rise and meet them. So why do you shrink your light for those who fear its brightness? Why do you soften your words for those who can't handle your truth? Why do you lower your standards for people who were never meant to reach them? Stop. Stop right now. Because the truth is this. The right people will never be threatened by your power. They will be drawn to it. They will rise because of it. They will feel honored to stand beside you. Not because you made yourself small, but because you stayed mighty. You see, when you choose yourself first, something magical happens. The wrong people fall away, not because you push them, but because they cannot survive in the light of your confidence. Like shadows at dawn, they disappear. And the right ones, those who are meant for your journey, will find you. Because you shine differently when you value yourself. You speak differently. You dream differently. Your very presence commands respect without saying a word. Never forget, you teach the world how to treat you. Every time you say yes when you mean no, you tell them you are available for disrespect. Every time you lower your standards to keep someone, you teach them that you accept less. Every time you put others before your own joy, you show them that your happiness is optional. But when you choose you, everything changes. Your energy shifts. Your aura hardens. Your spirit says, I am not for sale at a cheap price. And the world listens. Let them call you selfish. Let them call you difficult. Let them call you high maintenance. The eagle does not concern itself with opinions of pigeons. The lion does not explain itself to sheep. You were never meant to blend in with the crowd. You were born to rise above it. As Michelle Obama once said, your story is what you have, what you will always have. It is something to own. Own your story. Own your standards. Own your strength. Because the moment you fully stand in your power, the world will have no choice but to adjust. Remember, diamonds are not found in crowds. They are hidden deep, rare, priceless. And you, too, are rare. You, too, are priceless. Don't sell your soul in the marketplace of the ordinary. Don't lower your crown so that others can feel tall. Those who deserve you will rise to meet you. They will match your energy, your vision, your passion, not because you begged, but because you became. So hold your head high, set your boundaries without fear, speak your truth without apology, walk away without regret. The ones who matter will stay. The ones who belong will rise. And as you choose yourself again and again, watch how life, love, success, peace chooses you back. Because the greatest power you will ever hold is the power to choose. And the greatest choice you will ever make is to choose yourself.